I'm back. Let's go. Welcome to Last Chance Q with myself, Coach JB and Sean Salisbury.
We will not talk over the amateur or under the expert.
It's not only the X's and O's, but it's about the Jimmies and Joes.
And it's not just quarterback. We got all the positions, teaching, coaching, laughing, and joking.
We're using football terminology so we can get through this faster than we don't want to use these long terms, Coach. We got quick verbiage to get to the point. Last Chance Q with the great, legendary Sean Salisbury. What up, man? The real Coach JB here. Sean Salisbury joining me right now for Last Chance Q. Sean, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you. We're on our 4th edition of Last Chance Q retake. We got the draft here. Next week, we're going to do our mock draft, and a lot of interesting happenings have happened across the NFL in the last 24 hours. Can't wait to break it down with you. We are doing YouTube Live this week until the draft, all the way until next Thursday, just to give you the content so you can see what we're going to be doing live on Patreon every day. So become a member of our Patreon, because this is the last week that you're going to get this free access to Sean Salisbury and I, the great USC Trojan alum who's rocking the Cardinal. What is that called? Is that Cardinal and gold?
Don't act like you don't know, bitch. It's Cardinal and gold. Don't try
Fucking
to play.
Stanford's Cardinal and gold. Fucking Stanford's Cardinal and gold.
No, they're the Stanford Cardinal, which is the color, right?
They're fucking.
They're not the Stanford Cardinal, and they're not Cardinal and gold. Okay, you know who they are. You know their colors, just like you know El Camino, all the JUCOs, all the Division I schools. Don't be bullshitting me.
You look clean cut today. You all fucking fresh,
dude. Little goat. Yeah, dude. Come on now. I'm on this like a Shriner on a whore. Okay,
God damn.
Shriner at a horse convention. You know about that. You spend time at them conventions. I ain't bullshit me. So anyway, okay. As your favorite, without further ado, you like to. That's one of your go-tos. I like it. Without further ado. You know it's Cardinal and gold. It ain't that powder blue and yellow stuff across town. Even though I got some good buddies over there. But Cardinal, look at it. Dude, look how slick it is. I've had this in the coffers for a long time. Just decided to bust it out today, being I'm not on all your T-shirt business and hats and hoodies. I'm just along for the ride while you're over there, sitting up there with swag galore. But other than that, I'm doing great, man.
No, I ain't got no swag, man. I'm as bland as fucking salt and fucking pepper. Hey, man, breaking news, man. Breaking news. We got Jalen Hurts talk, man. What's going on? Jalen Hurts signs $255 million, Sean. Can't wait to dive into this one. I did a little snippet on this earlier today. I got to be honest. Lamar Jackson's got to be pretty pissed off, and Joe Burrow must have a 10-inch dick about right now, because he's got to be waiting for the next big signing, isn't he?
Yeah, if it ain't 10, it sure got he got stiff as a, what did you like to call it, as a what?
Dick.
Yeah. Yeah, stiff as a porn pecker, as you like to call it. Because he's about to get paid. Herbert's going to get his too. Lamar's going to get his. Now, he may be bothered because Baltimore hasn't given him the love that Philly's given Jalen. And quite frankly, Lamar's been doing it a bit longer, to say the least. So I have no problem with Jalen getting it, but I'm just going to tell you, Lamar's, while pissed, got to be excited, because at some point he's going to get his, whether it's in Baltimore or somewhere else. Because if they move him, he's going to get paid by the other team. If they don't move him, eventually Baltimore's going to have to pay him, whether it's, now or later, like the Fram oil filter. You can pay me now commercial. You can pay me now or pay me later. Good for Jalen Hurts. Listen, we probably differ a little bit on this. I think he's a great playmaker. I think mechanically he can still get better and get rid of a little bit of a wind-up. If we're talking mechanics, we saw him, and we'll do that much more once this draft's over. Great leader, poised, has overcome He knows what it's like to be benched, to take a team where they want to go, then lose his job to a guy who's the 5th pick of the draft and starting in Miami, to have to transfer to go prove he can throw it, gives himself another opportunity, puts himself in held in high regard, goes as a 2nd-round pick. Philadelphia puts some coaches in well, and now look, they wouldn't have got anywhere near that without him. I love him. I think he's going to get better as a passer. We're in the infancy of the guy's career. You knew this was happening. You may not consider him a top 5 quarterback, Mahomes, Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, whoever you have in your top 5, but I can damn well tell you this. You ain't mentioning 3 more names once you get to him. He is a playmaker. What do we want? People want everybody to look pretty throwing it. I know we want it to be Marino and Rodgers. This dude just wins. He's poised. Nothing bothers him. And I think he's only going to get better. And his agent, great job in negotiating. And I am –
Female.
Yeah, damn right she is. And she's negotiated the hell out of it. And I don't know if they have like agents of the year in sports, but I'm going to tell you that what she's done with her client and what he's done and that agency that she's with doing the things she's doing, phenomenal. Absolutely. Is it Nicole Moss? Is that her name? Ashley Nicole Moss or something? Yeah. Am I right there? Yeah. I'm proud of her, man. She is sitting the industry right on its ear and setting it, and she has a great client to go with it, and I love the trust they have in each other. I couldn't be happier for Jalen Hurts. I got zero issue with the pay because you're worth what you can negotiate. He got paid, but he will not be the highest paid quarterback in NFL history for long. That's just the nature of it. The next guy is going to get it, Burrow, Herbert, and whoever else. So, but I couldn't root harder. I think Jalen Hurts is as poised as we have in the league, and he wins, and that's all I care about, and he does both.
So the trickle of this, let's get into it real quick. The trickle-down effect. Lamar Jackson, is he sitting around? I did a thing on this, Sean. Like, a lot of us nowadays like to play the victim role, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think Lamar's doing that. I'm just saying I think a lot of us are we're susceptible to this whole victim mentality. And now Lamar can easily sit there and soak and wet the bed and say, man, I'm an MVP. I did this. But I broke it down earlier. Bottom line is, though, Sean, I got to be brutally honest. I don't believe overnight that he's become a pocket passer. And he's demanded that you get OBJ and D-Hop. Now, I don't believe those two guys help you that much in Baltimore if the QB, the shooter, the guy that's going to get him the ball, can't get him the ball. Like, do you believe, Sean? And I know you think Lamar is an unbelievable talent. I do too. But we agree, I think, that he's a thrower. He's not a passer of the football. But do you think overnight that he's going to just get back in the pocket and dissect coverage and get the ball to OBJ on time and D-Hop on time and the tight end? And that's not Lamar's game. Let's just be honest.
That's not Jalen Hurts' game either.
No, but he's got a lot better mechanically than Lamar over
yes, he has, and he's also got better offensive weapons in Philly. But neither here nor there, he's got him in a Super Bowl and really what is the equivalent of his second full season starting in Jalen Hurts. I'm talking about Lamar.
John, to be honest, Lamar Jackson's arch rival in this game, a roughly same age person. They're actually the same age. Lamar's been in the league longer. Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. Baltimore's arch rival in this thing, along with Cleveland and Pittsburgh, obviously. But you're in the same division, already been to a Super Bowl, on the verge of almost the second Super Bowl this last year, and you beat Mahomes 3 times out of 4, and you know damn well Burrow's going to be the next guy that's going to – he might be the first $70 million a year guy. Who knows what he's going to get, Sean?
I don't think anybody's putting Lamar or Jalen or I don't even think people are putting Josh Allen ahead of Joe Burrow anymore. I don't. No. I think right now it's Mahomes and Burrow is the 2, and then you start to fill in Allen and Hurts and Lamar and Aaron Rodgers. I think that's the group of the next one, and then you'll get further down to Dak Prescott and Cousins and that group. But listen, man, I understand, JB, I'm with you on the pocket thing, but pull up Lamar's numbers. Wins and nobody's going to tell me he's been on great explosive teams. Bullshit. I think the narrative is because he doesn't look the pocket progress. And I'm with you. Super Bowl champion quarterbacks, the majority of the time this league's been in existence in the modern era, beat you from the pocket first, extend second. Not extend first and beat you from the pocket second. It just, whether, I don't care if it's out of RPO and stand in the pocket, out of stretch and stand between the tackle, stretch fake. I'm talking about where they break the tackle box and it's edge, rushing, and then throwing. Most of them beat him from there. But when you look at his win-loss percentage, his completion percentage is actually better than I thought it would when he came out of Louisville. Dynamic playmaker. Without him, that team's not sniffing anything, as we well know. He's been banged up a little bit. We look at the numbers. It may not look as pretty as Jalen or as Rodgers or as Joe Burrow, but it's effective. That's why. I mean, it doesn't look like Dan Marino. It doesn't look like Warren Moon. But damn, okay, how many Super Bowls Dak been to? Cousins been to? Carr been to? Garoppolo's been to one. So my thing is, Philadelphia. If Lamar Jackson's on Philadelphia, he's making as many plays for them. Make no mistake about it. And Jalen deserves this, and Lamar's going to deserve his. I know what we're saying doesn't quite look the part, but I'll tell you what, if you want to give me Lamar Jackson and tell me that he's going to get better as a pocket passer, but he's never going to be the best pocket passer in the league, I could still win a championship as long as he understands getting through those progressions from there and then does his thing, changes it a little bit. I don't need him to be the best pocket passer in the world because Mahomes isn't that either. Mahomes is an off-schedule guy. So it's probably Burrow right now when it comes. He's the closest thing to Brady we've had from that hula hoop in the pocket. But Lamar's never going to lead the league in completion percentage, but he's never going to be a guy that you just look at and say, the guy can't make plays. I want a playmaker. The game has changed, fortunately or unfortunately for some, and that's what we're all looking for right now. And that's going to be the first pick of the draft this year too, Bryce Young. And he's more pure thrower than both of those guys, JB. He really is. He really is. Then the two guys that one wants paid is going to get paid, and the other just got paid. But they all have this thing in common. There's an extra gear to them in whatever part of the game it is. I got no problem paying Lamar, and he will get paid. Jalen Hurts deserved every penny.
No doubt. I don't have an issue because that's what we're in. That's we're in that market space.
1970, JB, 1985. Would a 1983 draft with Marino and Elway, that wouldn't have worked.
No.
But it works in 2023 and 2018, and it's going to work in 2030. The guy who's going to continue to win championships like Mahomes is going to be able to beat you from here and expand. Hence why the guy is the Astros equivalent to football, going to American League, ALCS is for the Astros and AFC championship games year after year for the Kansas City Chiefs.
No
and
doubt.
Burrow can do that. Herbert can do it. Lamar can do it. Jalen. Those guys are bigger, stronger throwers, but I can win with Lamar throwing it, and I can sure as hell win with Jalen Hurts throwing it too. They've proven it. Look at the numbers. The numbers in Lamar are not going to lie. The guy wins when he plays. So you want a pretty loser or a kind of looks a little rough around the edges but wins and is miserable to game plan against?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Sean, we're going to get into this we're gonna get it all into this once the draft's over, and we're gonna start getting into our coaching phase when we start breaking down these guys. But let's just be honest. We've broke down plenty of guys, and can't wait to get into all this stuff. But first down today, New England Patriots. They're basically at number 14 in the draft. They're on the clock at number 14. But before we get into this, Sean, as we lead up to our mock draft next Tuesday and Wednesday, I want to share this video with you because very interesting take from Adam Schefter on some things that have happened that he's learned regarding Will Levis and Anthony Richardson. And he makes a bold statement here, Sean. I'm only showing you this video, which you may have seen, because we have to make our mock drafts, and we're competing our mocks versus, the great ESPN analysts Mel Kiper and Todd McShay. We're going to give it our best run. But here's the thing. We said last week we wouldn't be super shocked if quarterback 1 goes to Carolina, and then it's Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, and big-time need position guys, and we don't take a QB until maybe Colts, maybe Seattle, maybe number 6. Interesting take here by Schefter. Take a listen.
Listen, we think that Anthony Richardson is a fascinating prospect, but so is this entire prospect. Dan, you mentioned the run on quarterbacks, but let me ask everybody this. What if the run on quarterbacks gets a little bit delayed? What if it's a little bit later to start than people thought? We've been hearing about quarterbacks going 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not going to happen, I don't believe, in this draft. And what would happen if and when we've seen Carolina make the move up right away for a quarterback at 1, but we haven't seen anybody trade up to 2 when Houston's open to listening. We haven't seen anybody trade up to number 3 because you know what? I think Indianapolis thinks there's a real chance right now that they could sit right where they are at 4 and get potentially the second quarterback in this draft. There's a chance we might not see a quarterback go at 2 or even 3, and there might not be a team that trades up because the value in that isn't what we thought it would be. So Indianapolis may be sitting there with its pick in the litter, Anthony Richardson or Will Levis or C.J. Stroud. That could happen.
Sean, I'm not totally against what he said. I know Dan, and I talk to Dan quite often. You probably do as well. I know those guys on that panel are against what Schefter's having to say. I'm not. I actually can see that happening.
I would not trade up for the second pick of this draft for a quarterback. I would not do it.
Neither.
Because there's too many ifs surrounding them. There just is. Now, listen, I'll say it again, crapshoot. None of us really know, depending on where they go, who coaches them, what kind of system they're going to be involved in, when do they play, all those things. Outside of the first guy that's going to be taken, who I do believe in. I mean, I have no problem doing what Carolina did to get up there. I don't. Because if you think not like a franchise guy, because if you just like Stroud or like Levis or like Richardson and you got a top 5 pick, you should not draft them. Liking them's not enough. You marry somebody, you don't just like her or him. You better love them and you better be all in even when their flaws rear their head, and they sure as shit will. But if you like him or her or the quarterback, then trade down and like him at 9 or 12. Don't like him at 2. That's the talk about the Texans. Now, do I think that these other 3 guys have a chance to be really special because they all have certain qualities? Yeah. If they're coached right, you know how that goes, JB. Now, if they don't improve, they could be out of the league. See, that's the if. If Anthony Richardson's accuracy improves, if these young players get through their progressions, if Will Levis doesn't throw interceptions like he did at Kentucky. Hell, he's been more banged up than Bryce Young has. All these ifs. If C.J. Stroud looks like he did against Georgia or with his feet, all these ifs. I don't like ifs around my quarterback in the top 5. If you got that many ifs, fucking if. I'm moving on. And I will tell you this, that to trade up to number 2 and give up all those assets, so who are you trading for? Richardson? Stroud? He's the safest pick of these first 5, not named that quarterback, not named a quarterback. It's the outside linebacker / rush in named Will Anderson. If you want to be safe and you want to give up another asset, trade up for his ass.
You agree with this top 10 from our guys over at the Believe Network? What do you think about that?
I don't have – listen, there's talk in Houston today that Tyree Wilson, they may trade down for him and get the edge rusher who they think is a legitimate – remember where DeMeco Ryans was. Bosa's pretty good. As far as a true edge rusher, Tyree Wilson may be more pure at it than Will Anderson. I just think Will Anderson's a better all-around player. So that's a safe one. I am with Schefter on this. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't see how the Colts at 4 aren't taking a quarterback. Now, I sure as hell don't know which one it is.
I don't see Anthony Richardson making the Colts contenders.
Not right now. If you're willing to withstand that and go through 2 or 3 years and possibly have another coach fired, we'll see. I know they're hanging their hat on what? Who's the head coach there now? The kid from Philly, right? The offensive coordinator from Philly, the same place that the head coach left for to go to Philly is coming back. So point being is, if you're going to do this, you better be damn well sure you got patience to do it, because all of them are going to need patience. I think Young's the best, but I would not trade. Imagine what you'd have to give up to go from 11 to 2. That's a hell of a haul to get assets to hope. I really like the quarterback. Now, if you love him, do what Carolina did. They love Bryce Young, obviously. Get your ass up and go do it, because you're not winning a Super Bowl these days unless the guy under center in the gun is a friggin' monster playmaker and a full grown-ass football playing Jesse. I can go 3-14 with a great edge rusher for 3 years without a quarterback. I'll go 3-14. With a quarterback who year after year gets better, you're eventually not going 3-14. You're going to be – look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Go get Lawrence. Go get a coach. You got yourself right back in the mix. So I would not trade up unless you're the Colts and want to go from 4 to 2. But I'm the Texans. I'm not letting them jump to 2. They're in my friggin' division. So I'm not – I do think that Schefter may be onto something. I said it too. I thought all 4 quarterbacks would go in the first 8, 9, 10 picks at the latest. And they still may. But I'm not so sure that if you're looking for your franchise, say, okay, I need somebody that I can guarantee is going to impact me in the top 10 picks. I think the guarantee, there's a lot more players in this that can impact your franchise the first 8 to 10 picks than 3 of the quarterbacks we're talking about. I'm not surprised. I think the second one could possibly go with the 4th pick of this draft, because if Arizona stays where they are, they're not drafting a quarterback. So the Colts could have their choice at 3 different quarterbacks. I don't see anybody trading up to the Texans to get number 2, because I don't think they covet number 2 as a quarterback as much as some people think we're supposed to, because it's quarterback and it's sexy. Will Anderson's the best player in this draft, more than likely. Bryce Young, obviously the quarterback, but outside the quarterback, the safest pick, the Quentin Nelson for offensive line is Will Anderson on the outside if you want to be safe.
Let's get into the New England Patriots. They're picking number 14 as of right now. Belichick, we know, will change up in a New York minute if he has to and do some things in this draft. That he's very manipulative at this. He's very good at managing this situation. He's been here for 25 plus years and doing this. Mac Jones, Sean, has become a little bit of a name in question lately. Apparently, rumors are coming out of the New England Patriots locker room that they prefer to have Bailey Zappi as their starter. That has to not sit very well with the Mac Jones of the world. Ramondre Stevenson, a junior college product, is a good back. I like him. He's going to come on the show, on my show soon. They got Juju Schuster in a trade. They got Devontae Parker, who used to be a pretty good number 1 in Miami. They got Kendrick Bourne, who I think has potential. They got Hunter Henry. And then their O-line needs a little bit of work, but they do have Trent Brown. They do have Riley Rife. He's pretty good. 2 good, decent tackles. Defensively, they got to make some moves. But I want to get into this, Mac Jones, just for a couple minutes. We got about 40 minutes of this show left, and I wanted to get into a couple things and get your thought on why we should be concerned at 14 if we're picking for New England. And the Mac Jones scenario that we just brought up. I wanted to get into this. A little bit of film for you for Mac Jones perspective. I like Mac. I think he's okay, Sean. I just don't know if they have the outside weapons. I think they have improved them, but I don't know if they have the speed to go with Mac Jones's athleticism, if that makes sense at all, Sean. And I know you can make sense of that. He's not the most athletically gifted guy, who you just said and mentioned. You got to be able to do this in the pocket and be able to ad-lib with your feet. He's not that guy, and I don't think they have the break loose wide out for him to sit in the pocket and just throw curls and hitches to a slower, stiffer Juju Smith. I think he's got to have a fast weapon outside, i.e. Randy Moss or somebody explosive, or they may have to do something at QB, Sean. This isn't a sitting duck league anymore.
No, I'll tell you, Bailey Zappi's got some skill set. I knew when he came out, I had talked to somebody who was Western Kentucky, maybe. I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't. I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't Western Kentucky. Was he Hilltop, right? I don't remember.
I think so. I'm not sure.
But I know that he's got some balls and can throw it. But let me back up a little. And Bailey Zappi did some good things. First off, and I think Belichick's the best coach of all time, and I love him. Although, for my money right now, Mike Tomlin and Andy Reid are pretty damn good. I could take Mike Tomlin and win with him anywhere. He's proven that. Listen, I think the narrative on Mac Jones is complete horse shit after 2 years, and I'm going to tell you why. First off, as many good decisions as Bill makes, one of the worst offseason decisions last year was to name Matt Patricia your damn offensive coordinator. That'd be like me going and coaching nose tackles. Sorry, I know Matt knows defensive football and as a head coach and all that. I can coach the quarterback position in offense with two eyes closed and walking backwards with my ass, with my ass in the air better than he can coach the quarterback position. No, I love Matt, but come on, man. Talk about square peg in a round hole. You can't just plug anybody in and say, hey, Matt, I know you were coaching Gerard Mayo 8 years ago. Could your ass get out there and teach Mac Jones how to put his foot in the ground and throw the bank post on 3 with no hitch and in rhythm from the gun? Get the fuck out of here. That was a horrible decision. So if you're Mac Jones, you're damn right you're going to bitch and complain. You're damn right you're pissed. You're damn right you're going to say, give me some weapons. They don't have many offensive weapons. They've got to get better. They've got to. Mac Jones is never on the other side, is never, and you hit it. For Mac Jones to have tremendous sustained success in this league, he's going to have weapons around him all the time. He's never carrying you for 4 to 6 weeks on his back, third like Marino. That's not happening. But if he's got good players, mix in the throw, 25 to 28, 30 throws a game, got a good runner, defense gets in field position, because he processes information quickly. He's a really good player. He's never going to be that guy in the league where we go, oh, my gosh, had a good rookie year, faded near the end. But it's horse shit. Come on. That's like me going and saying, hey, man, you know what? Here's what I want to do. I think I'm going to take the offensive line coach who's been coaching, let's take my guy Hudson Houck, who's been, Hud Houck, who's one of the greats of all time, was at my Trojans when we were there coaching Bruce Matthews and Mosbar and Munoz and all that. Let's go get Hud, and I'm going to have him. Be the defensive coordinator this week, and then he'll also coach the quarterbacks next year. What? Now you want him on offensive line? We'll dominate. So I thought that Mac Jones had no shot going into the season. Now, hey, the best decision they made, whether you like his ass or not, because he's power hungry, is Bill O'Brien back to coaching offense. Mac Jones will have a chance to play better. Got to get weapons. They have receiver needs, playmaker needs. They've got corner needs. They do on the edge in the corner in a league that throws the ball. I think that there's a good chance that they'll go. Bill likes to trade down at times too and get more assets. I think an offensive lineman looks real good here too, because Mac isn't going to extend much. He's a little underrated athletically, but he's not Herbert or Burrow or Lamar or Jalen or Josh Allen. He needs everything to go pretty well for him. I would imagine that he'll play better this year. Bailey Zappi will be on the bench unless he urinates down his leg, meaning Mac. But they're giving him a fighting chance. He's not taking a fucking knife to a gunfight. He's got a chance now. He'll be better this year. And Bill knew that this was a holdover with Patricia on offense. Can't do it. Mac will be better. But make no mistake about it, on paper right now, they're the worst team in the division if Aaron Rodgers is a New York Jet or they get the quarterback situation solidified. The Patriots are the team chasing. They're not the team being chased anymore.
No doubt about it. That's number 14. Number 15 on the second down, brought to you by CanadipCBD.com.
You mean these right here, JB?
Become a member of our Patreon today, as this show will be exclusive to Patreon members only. It'll be the best $19.99 you could spend. We start back the day after the draft right here. We will do a live draft party next Thursday. While it's in Kansas City, Sean and I will be doing a live draft party. We'll have a few guests on. Braden Fajoko just got signed by the Pittsburgh Steelers, who was with the Chargers. We'll talk to him about how the draft is. Sean and I will discuss trying to get a few more guests on, maybe a few players of mine that are currently maybe in the draft. And we're going to have a great little draft party and compare our mock draft that we'll do next Tuesday and Wednesday to the greats like, Mel Kiper and such and so forth. Second down, Sean, the 15th pick goes to the Green Bay Packers, ironically enough, talking about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. The Packers come to mind. The Green Bay Packers have the 15th pick in this year's draft. They have some decisions to make. Sean, I got to get into it. Their roster, obviously, with Jordan Love taking over the helm, presumably, which we all think. They still have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, pretty goddamn good tandem. Christian Watson, the receiver, came on his own last year. Later on in the season, started to get really, really good. You got Dobbs, who I thought turned out to be pretty good. But after that, I don't know how good they are. I don't love their tight ends. I don't love their other wideouts. And then Bakhtiari, their great left tackle. When he's healthy, I think he's a top 3 left tackle in football. But damn, Sean, he is never healthy. And their O-line, John Runyon Jr., the right guard's really good. He's a young kid. I think Josh Myers, their center's good. They got some good pieces up front. Kenny Clark on defense is anchoring that defense along with Quay Walker. I don't know if they're got a roster that's really going to compete. I think the Lions division, like you think and I think alike, I think the Packers are fighting for a 3rd spot in that division right now, maybe even fighting for a 4th spot if Aaron Rodgers indeed goes to the Jets.
Yeah, JB, a lot of needs. But let me ask you this. Let's say I'm the GM, you're my head coach, and I come to you and say, Jordan Love's going to be our quarterback. Because somebody is going to, I don't want to say cave, but give in. I think the bottom line is the Jets don't want to give up a number 1 and the Packers want it. But we've talked about this, or more than just 1-1. We've talked about if you can't guarantee me more than a year, I'm not trading a 1. So they'll butt heads, but you know how desperation is. The Jets know they're one player away from being competitive, and that player is the quarterback. So to the Green Bay Packers, so I'm coming to you, JB. I walk into your, I'm Gutekunst, and I walk into your office and say, Matt LaFleur, what's the best thing? What will give Jordan Love the best chance to succeed right away and to grow his confidence? What would you tell me? One position.
Shit. Be honest with you?
Yeah, totally. Huh?
Tight end.
Okay, and I would say offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Bakhtiari is the thing. If he's healthy and I know he's good to go, I'm pretty decent with him and Runyon at guard and the Yosh Nish kid who's a big old freak at right tackle. I think they're got some Elgin Jenkins, left guard, is really good. I think they have some good pieces, but are you just replacing Bakhtiari, who right now is their starting left tackle? Are you banking?
I'm a huge Bakhtiari fan, but you said if he stays healthy, but if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle, right?
Yeah, and if it was a fifth, I'll be loaded.
Yeah, but in 2023, my aunt might have balls. She might. I don't know. So my aunt may very damn well be my uncle. So I'm not real sure.
No shit.
It could happen. I don't know. Listen, 2023, I'm not real sure, but I'm going to ask my aunt if she now has balls, so she's my uncle. But if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. Offensive tackle, tight end's always a great crutch to lean on. There is no question about it.
But Sean, let me stop you right there.
That's usually a safe pick. What?
A young QB, not to cut you off, a young quarterback getting in there, and you're coaching him or I'm coaching him. I want to lean heavy on Dylan and Aaron Jones and make my release valve be a big-time fucking tight end. I want that ball proximity-wise. I want it safe right around the line of scrimmage. I don't trust Jordan Love. No offense. I don't trust Jordan Love yet to throw fucking bang eights and dig routes across coverage and in anticipatory windows against fucking quarters match coverage. I don't trust him yet. I love what he saw from him in the game that he started, but I want a tight end, Sean. I want a guy to safety valve his ass like Lamar Jackson had with Andrews.
If you could be assured that offensive line's right, I'd pass on and go get me a playmaker. You know, we're at pick 15, right?
Yeah.
And we have not talked about when Jackson Smith-Njigba or Joe. We talk about him, but we still haven't named him. And I'm going to tell you this, and we say his name all the time. And they don't need him, Green Bay, but we're still here. And you know how I feel about the running back, Bijan Robinson. Imagine if I told you right now that Bijan Robinson's going to be taken before Will Levis. What would you say to me?
I don't know if this is the pick, though.
No, it isn't, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You talk about a guy to lean on, a young quarterback somewhere in here. That seems like a pretty good cat to lean on too. But yes, listen, if you tell me that with the kid from Utah, Notre Dame, and you're saying, okay, it's 6 and 1/2 dozen the other, go get me a friggin' playmaker. I'm greedy as shit when it comes to offense. I am. I want to score. I want to keep scoring. I want to shove it up your ass, and I want to keep going. So, but the question is, and I don't want player empowerment. I don't want Jordan Love making the pick or any of that where he's got to say, but if I were to ask Jordan Love, what would you rather have? Bakhtiari's not here. Let's just say that. an offensive tackle or a tight end or a playmaking wide receiver to add to that. I would imagine he's going to choose one of the ladders, the tight end or the wide receiver. I probably would, but I was spoiled too because we had Gary Zimmerman and Randall McChesney. That was never a concern, right, with that team in Minnesota. So I get it, but I think you're going to have a chance to see a run on offensive linemen / tackles, kind of like edge rushers, somewhere around this time. And the last 2 picks both need him. The question is, do New England and do the Green Bay Packers believe that an offensive lineman is the best guy on the board? They're drafting either, for need or best available. More important to them. When's the last time the New England Patriots took a wide receiver in the first 15 picks? Right.
With Tom Brady.
Right. So, and now with Green Bay, but you're right. A big fella that can run and catch at tight end's a great choice, JB. And I also think an offensive tackle, depending on how you feel about the health of your guys and what's going to benefit Jordan Love the most, because he will be the quarterback when we open 2023.
Maybe we swing the other way, though, talking about Green Bay at the 15th pick. I do like a couple guys on this draft board right here that the Devin Witherspoon kid, the corner, Tyree Wilson, obviously Will Anderson, I doubt is around at 15. Jalen Carter, and we already talked about his character deal, and does he fall? Is he available at 15?
Not this far. No freaking way.
Let me ask you this, John. Do you live with this young QB and pound the rock next year with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, and you try to get the ball to a decent tight end and get the ball to Christian Watson and Dobbs and play keep away, play good defense? Do you draft defensively this year and then try to play run the football game next year with the younger QB, Jordan Love? Or do you go what you say and say, fuck it, let's go get me a big-time playmaker tight end or a big-time tackle? Maybe Skoronski's available here.
But JB, I do tend to agree with you, though, because I always liked that. And I know you were as a quarterback. I had Steve Jordan in Minnesota. I like that guy to lean on. I always have. Don't you feel the same way? And think about from Dallas and Aikman to Montana and Wesley Walls and that group and Steve Young and, all these, for the most part, everybody, the great ones have had a crutch to lean. I mean, Jason Witten with Romo, and initially Brett Favre had, was it Chimura? Mark Chimura in Green Bay, right? And, we can go through the list, Mahomes and Kelsey. I mean, they are rampant. I actually, while I want my quarterback protected, I think the number one, and a safety is a necessary one for Green Bay as well, but I don't, if you're saying tight end, tackle, or safety, unless Ronnie Lott's in this draft, which he'd have been taken earlier, I think I can get a safety. I saw Petrie here, a third rounder from Baylor here in Houston. He's a monster. You get first round skill set, draft him a third round, the guy can play. Tight ends that are great are hard to come by. JB, if I was picking right now, we were on the clock, and you and I were doing our pick today, it may change next week by Thursday. Tight end would be the choice, but I think you got to consider defensive help on the back end, and I think you have to consider possibly, depending on your health, offensive tackle. But speaking of a franchise that needs a game-breaking tight end, and there will be one of them, and maybe still 2 on the board when we get to this point.
Number 16, our third down section here of Last Chance Q, our segment on third down is the 16th pick, which goes to the, we don't know for sure if they're the newly acquired Washington Commanders or not. It seems to be in debate with their ownership group on who's actually purchasing them. Mr. Davis, what could be the first black owner, which would be a great thing for the NFL.
Yes.
We'll see if it happens.
Overdue. Yep.
But he may have outbid. That used to be Christian Leitner's partner and teammate in Duke basketball. He may have outbid Magic Johnson in them group, waiting to see. Apparently, he offered $7 billion cash offer. What he did to get $7 billion, I have no idea.
I guess basketball was a hobby, because when you're making that, you can't afford to go play basketball.
No,
with his Duke education's done for him. If he's throwing $7 billion in there, we all need a guy like that to help raise this money. Good for him.
Oh shit!
Good for him.
I was hoping the Commanders got bought up and got Snyder out of there, and then changed the fucking name. And I thought they would go change and fix their plumbing and everything else that's wrong with that place. But here's my thing, Sean. What in the fuck, excuse my language, are the Washington Commanders doing by thinking that Sam Howell is their go-to guy around, Sean, I'm going to be honest,
Sam, dog.
I'm going to be honest, dog, around the roster that I really like. I really like their roster.
They've got, and their front seven, the guys who put their hand in the dirt are about as good and deep as there is in the league.
Sean, if you put nasty on that roster, it's better than the Ravens roster.
There's no argument here. Dude, why are you dogging sudden Sam Howell, man? And
I mean, what has he done? I don't understand. I love Riverboat.
Hey, listen, playmaker in Chapel Hill, dude. Playmaker. And you know what? If a Duke guy owns it, he's got to run him out. I can't have a North Carolina Tar Heel running my team if Duke comes in and gets this ownership. No, in truth, the next guys always listen. I don't think Sam Howell's better than Taylor Heineke right now, and Heineke's no longer there. But he replaced him. Listen,
I don't believe Sam Howell's better than Jacoby Brissett, Sean.
Well, he may not be. Well, you think Sam Howell's in the league in 5 years?
No,
you don't. Okay. I think he'll be in the league journey. He will not be a franchise quarterback in 5 years. How's that?
No, yeah, he might be a journeyman. He ain't gonna be no team to team.
What if Will Levis was still there? What would you do? What if
then why the fuck you didn't go get Lamar Jackson?
Okay, there you go. That's fair because you would have to give up 2 number ones.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like, why haven't you went and got him with the guy who just coached under Andy Reid, Coach Mahomes, understands how to create an offense around a guy with similar skill set? Why wouldn't you get Lamar Jackson? Why are you going with Sam Howell, who hasn't done shit?
Do they know anything about Shawnee Rambo? See, this is not Johnny Rambo. This is Shawnee Rambo. You want to cut a dude if they don't go get himself a player, right?
Hey, I want to show you some real knife. You think that's a fucking knife?
No, dude, it's just one I keep. It's one I keep in my drawer so I can give you a little close straight edge shave right here while I'm doing the show. No, in truth, okay. So Sam Howell, you don't believe their guy this year. Brissett was pretty consistent in Cleveland. He's a pro's pro. So they're a quarterback away. All the quarterbacks that we're talking about. What if Hendon Hooker's sitting there? Was that too high for him? Would you wait? I'm going to throw his name out again. I know your love affair is with the tight end position in this draft. You and I both know it. Am I right? That's your love affair. Let's face facts. My love affair is with Bijan Robinson. So if he's sitting here at 15, how in the hell are you not drafting him? How? How are you not drafting him if he's sitting here and let's see. Their roster's pretty solid. Yeah, I know you love a quarterback. Let's say all 4 QBs are gone, but Hendon Hooker, the 5th one. And I tell you that they're the Washington Redskins. Some people like to say Washington. I bet you did grow up. Washington, right? The Washington Redskins are on the clock, and I say, JB.
That's a fucking Escondido fucker sound.
Whoa,
like.
Bitch, please. We don't talk like that in Main Streets. Yeah, no. Washington, all right, the Washington football team, or the Commanders. All right, so I tell you, you're on the clock. Hendon Hooker's still there. They need back-end help because their front 7, they'll get after you. They don't need any help, in my opinion, up front. They are really good. Del Rio's got himself some hellified players. It seems like you could say offensive tackle about 15 teams in this draft, man. So we're looking for it. Okay, they need a corner. Listen, I don't think there's many experts that think Sam Howell's taking you to the promised land. Correct. And Jacoby Brissett's a spot starter, and he can start for you, but he's just a great guy to have on your roster and to win some games for you. So what do? I'm not convinced Washington's rolling into the 2023 season with this quarterback situation. I'm not convinced of it. So you say, okay, what are the options? I don't know. Would the Rams trade Stafford? No, you don't think so, right? There was that chatter, right? JB, you heard it in L.A. I don't know if that's the case. Getting healthy, and Matt's excited to come back. I'm just throwing names out there. Would the Washington Commanders take a Hendon Hooker and say he'll be ready to go when it's ready? Would you go out and get Lamar Jackson and say, he's right down the road. He wouldn't have to move much from Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Would you do that? Other than that, your options are pretty slim right now.
Here's my take.
They're in draft purgatory, brother, and you and I for the quarterback position.
I would not draft a fucking quarterback to save my life if I'm Washington. I would never take a QB unless I took one from the league right now, like a Lamar. I'd be honest with you. I'd be happier if they took goddamn Tannehill or somebody that's got a lot of playing experience over Sam Howell.
Well, Tannehill gives him a better chance to win right now, no doubt.
I think Terry McLaurin's going to get wasted. I think that the Dotson cat, who can be really good, Curtis Samuel can be really good. I think they're going to get wasted. The Brian Robinson kid, after being shot, ended up coming back and having a great year. Antonio Gibson's there. We don't know about him, if he's going to be on the trade block. I would not take one quarterback out of this draft if I'm Washington. I'm going after
a guy. You're talking about guys that are going to be left right around that spot. Okay.
Yeah. Who's going to be around that spot? I have no idea.
I can't imagine any of the first four are. That's for damn sure.
No, I would have went and got a vet, and they did get a vet. They got Jacoby Brissett, which to me lined up to, okay, that is our, no offense, but that's our poor man's Lamar Jackson. Let's get Lamar in here. But Jacoby's going to be similar to what a Taylor Huntley is in Baltimore.
Tyler Huntley, yeah. Yeah.
So if Lamar gets hurt, Brissett comes in and we don't miss a beat. We don't run the football as much with the Q, but at least we have the same offense that we can run.
Let me ask you this. Let's have a little fun real quick, JB. Let me give you a few scenarios. Just yes or no in a sentence. Why? If we're in New England, would you try to trade Mac Jones to why? If you're Washington, if they love Bailey Zappi, would you try to get in and trade for Mac Jones for a 3rd round pick? 2nd round pick.
Or would you trade him for that pick?
15? Ooh, that might be a bit of a reach. Okay, that's 1. 2,
Lamar, Patriots are win. They're 14, and this is 16.
Lamar, obviously, we'd both get into it. We'd jump into that fray. Let me ask you an interesting one. If the Jets thing continues to become a problem, would Washington be interested in giving up the 15th pick for Aaron Rodgers? Why not them? I've been having them in the back of my head. Why not? Your defense is Super Bowl-ish. You've got some playmakers. We talk about, well, it's San Francisco if he doesn't go there, or the Jets. Why wouldn't you, if you're Washington, inquire about Aaron Rodgers and say they don't want to do it? We'll give you the 15th pick and a 3rd rounder or whatever else they're asking for Aaron. And we don't need a guarantee he's going to play 2 or 3 more years. We'll just hope he does. Would you do it if you're Washington?
Here's my take. I would do it, but the issue is Aaron Rodgers ain't doing it because I think he's so sold on that roster, getting those receivers, quote unquote, pushed towards the Jets. The Jets signed a couple guys.
Yeah, he has a no trade clause, right? Am I correct?
I think so.
Does he? If he does, he'd probably squelch it. But if I was Washington, I have got to be inquiring what about Washington moving up to get a quarterback into the top 10?
Yeah, that's
15
what I'm saying.
And another guy to move themselves up to be in position to go get.
I think they would look inept, Sean. I think they look incompetent if they win and draft QB because you got Brissett, you've already came out. Riverboat Ron has come out twice and said we're rolling with Sam Howell, and which to me was asinine thing to say. I would never have said it because you never know what was happening out there. And Lamar came out available. You could have went and made a push for it, but it seems like he's biting his ego's gotten in the way. I love Ron Rivera. I really do. But let's be honest, he hasn't really won anything meaningful as a head coach, even though we love his grit. I love his old school. We love his old school mentality. We love how he coaches. Fought cancer, beat it. I get it.
I love Ron. Yeah.
I love it all, but I am really I'm really dumbfounded on why they didn't go after a quarterback with the roster they have and rocking with a
when
rookie.
Jimmy and Carr was a big talk. Remember when Carr was being talked about this offseason, possibly being a guy there? They must see something I don't, because I can't fathom that you're going to go into the season that this is what you're running it back with new ownership the very first year. I don't get it.
Neither.
I don't get it.
Neither. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers. 4th down here for this show.
Whatever Mike Tomlin wants, I'll get whatever Mike wants. I love Mike so much. Mike could take me and you and Harry Hatchet ass, and you'd win 9 games, and that's saying something because we can't do shit anymore. That's how good Mike Tomlin is. Yeah,
I could play dead in the Western. Kenny Pickett is their starter. Right there out the gate, though, Sean. I am not a believer.
You got to be, though. You can't. They can't. They got at least 2 more with him. You got no shot, JB. You can battle it all you want. Kenny Two Gloves is not going. Bitch, you better just sit back and ride. He's a hometown kid. He's gonna let it rip.
These quarterbacks are so fucking
I know,
bad.
but listen,
you
can sit there and have this conversation all you want. Kenny Pickett's not your answer, but guess what? He's a first-round pick, and he's not going anywhere for at least 2. So you're stuck with him for the next 2. So don't even let quarterback come out of your damn mouth right now because Kenny Pickett ain't going anywhere right now. So it's going to be another position.
Hey,
so
guess
get your
who
bitch ass moving?
Fucking Mitch Trubisky, the backup right now for Kenny Pickett.
There once was a man named Pickett.
Quarterback.
He's not from Nantucket.
Okay? All right, here's a bright spot on this roster, Sean. Najee Harris, we know, is a bona fide fucking rider. He's a fucking big time. Deontay Johnson, I really like a lot.
Yeah, he's a
Jordan
monster.
Pickens is a young, upcoming, big time wideout.
Chance to be a star in the league. He's gifted beyond belief.
Freemuth, the tight end, Freemuth or whatever. I like him. Freiermuth. They got a couple issues up front. Okafor at right tackle is really good. I think he could be good. The Dan Moore Jr. at left tackle. Ciamola, the Uso left guard is good. They need some help though. I think they need a couple other guys in that wide receiver rotation. And then on defense, that's what they live and die by. You still got Minka Fitzpatrick. You still got now they got Braden Fehoko. They got Cameron Hayward. TJ Watt, we know if he can stay healthy, is a game wrecker. So we know their defense is going to be good. And then you have the it factor and the X factor, Sean, and Mike Tomlin. So we already agree there. Top 5 coach, no question. Who do they need? Who do they need at number 17 that makes sense for this black and blue, gritty, steel mill working class organization? Who do you go get at 16?
Well, you want to get quarterbacks. You're not getting them, so you're with just stop. Okay, you're not getting that. There is a chance that one of the 3 or 4 better receivers will still be there. Now, if we just go by Pittsburgh history, they like a physical. If you're going to get a running back, they like you to knock you in the mouth. Excuse me, Najee's that guy. This is a team that loves the tight end position. They love a guy. You know what I'm saying? They always have. This is a team that wants a offensive lineman, an offensive tackle, to roll up his sleeves and look like Webster and John Kolb and Larry Brown back in the day and all the way through their great line forever. This is who they are. And you know damn well somewhere in the first 3 rounds, the Pittsburgh Steelers are taking a linebacker and a secondary guy. Somewhere, somehow, they are taking that guy. Now, we're not talking enough about the depth of corners in this draft. They are really good. I'm talking about really, really good. And whether it's but they went out and got Patrick Peterson this offseason, but that's still not enough. I mean, you got to go whether it's Porter Jr., Gonzalez, Witherspoon. I mean, you are loaded with some really good corners, and we're not talking about them enough, but we should. So for me, JB, I think you're going to get a guy like Joey Porter. Where did Joey Porter's pops play? Right there.
Bakersfield legend, Joey Porter.
Right. Joey played time in Pittsburgh. The son's a phenomenal athlete, long. He's a good player. I would not be surprised.
You got the Cam kid at South Carolina.
That's exactly right. So there's 4 or 5 corners going to first round. Porter Jr. is long too, and I like it.
Witherspoon. You got
Gonzalez
kid. You like
Oregon,
Gonzalez at Oregon?
Yeah, he could have. We got a number of them that could be the first of the group taken. So I'm going to go with obvious offense. Once again, the needs on about 25 of these teams, the safe one is always, just give me an offensive tackle. Think out of the box. It's not out of the box thinking that a corner's here. At 7, it's 17, right? Isn't that where Pittsburgh's picking? It's 17. Yeah. I'm going to lean to Mike Tomlin and say wide receiver or if Jackson Smith or somebody like remember now, who Kenny Pickett throw to the year before? He transferred. Jordan Addison. When he won the Biletnikoff.
Jordan Addison.
That's exactly right. Addison was his receiver in Pittsburgh. So he's sitting on not that he has any say. I'm going to say one of the perimeter guys, just for the hell of it. It could change next week. Today, Joey Porter Jr. or a corner and offensive tackle, obviously, and possibly another home run hitter. Because in order to keep up in that division, Watson's going to be better. We know that the Cleveland will play better. Watson another year in the system. If Baltimore gets Lamar back, they are dynamic because of him. And we know Cincinnati can score from the friggin' parking lot. So how you keeping up? You may hold a team to 24, but can you score 24? So I'm thinking perimeter, corner, wide receiver. Whether they think wide receiver is a need or not, it's always a need. And if you could get a home run hitter, I'm never turning down a home run hitter if I got a quarterback that needs help.
They got those two corners in this draft. A lot of corners.
A lot of they do.
A lot of O-line.
Somebody's going to get a good corner that in a normal draft would have been taken higher.
Yeah.
I don't know if Sauce Gardner's in this draft, but we've got some really good ones at the top of this list.
Yeah. Also, Sean, as you know, as the draft starts to get longer and we're starting to get into the late first round, second, third round, organizations will be really quick to draft geographically, right? They'll draft because they know the guy, they know who they are. Zay Flowers, Boston College. I know it's Boston, but Pittsburgh's not too damn far. I don't mind that guy. I think he's really good. If you're talking wide receiver, he's a guy that could drop or he could go at 16. Josh Downs, North Carolina kid.
Really like Johnston at TCU.
TCU kid. He's still got Ohio State. Jacob Smith is out there available, maybe. Or do you go get one of the tight ends at Utah or Notre Dame if they're available to back up?
Notre Dame tight end to Pittsburgh seems so normal, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know tight ends there with Najee Harris and a small-handed QB. Fuck it, let's go double tight end.
Let's go back to Kenny Two Gloves, dude. You better get off Kenny Two Gloves nuts.
That's fun.
I love his name, Two Gloves. That's what I call him, Kenny Two Gloves. He might be the MVP this year. He might. Dude,
how do you know the motherfucker like this?
Dude, I don't know. I never had to worry about that. What do you do?
Look at that.
Two Gloves? Dude.
Look at that shit. That shit dwarfs your hands, don't it?
Does it really?
Come on.
Does it? Look how weak we are. Compared our hands to Kenny Two Gloves. Okay, my hand looks like a foam finger to Kenny Two Gloves. Okay.
Motherfucker look like he's jacking off an elephant.
But he can still rip it though. Why are you down on the Two Gloves, dude?
I'm just down on quarterbacks.
You know what? One thing I got to tell you are a bitter beer face with quarterbacks lately.
Yeah, I'm the quarterback Grinch. I think they're gonna start calling me the quarterback Grinch. Sean, I'm like you though, man. Mediocrity is our new excellence. I refuse to allow mediocrity to be our fucking excellence.
You're the guy. You are. You're the quarterback Grinch right now because none of them are good. Some are okay.
We got fucking big old fat fucks coaching our QBs in college. They're fucking tiny guys coaching QBs.
If you want to go to the guys coaching them, we could get into that in another whole session.
Oh, we're gonna do
quarterbacks themselves. You're a quarterback Grinch. I don't want to pay him. He can't win for the pocket. Kenny Two Gloves. Sam Howell. The only two to you right now. The only three guys that really exist in the league are Mahomes and Burrow. And you just want Burrow's name twice. Dude, you are swinging so far off Burrow's nuts, it's unbelievable.
I just don't think – I think –
you're the tugger. You're a nut tugger on Burrow's stuff. I get it, though. He's so good.
Shit.
What's that?
I just think Mahomes is overrated as shit. I'm more towards Andy Reid being the guy, but he's got.
How can you be overrated throwing it around the lot? Like Andy Reid ain't going there throwing sidearm off schedule. Andy's a great player. You are the quarterback Grinch, dude. I'm telling you right now.
I love it too.
A guy could pump 48 touchdowns in there, throw for 6,000, and you'd be pissed off that he was late on a bang post. It's like, well, that guy sucks.
You know why? Because the fucking great ones would have made it on time. That's why.
Dude, seriously, when you're done getting teabagged by one guy in the league that you just can't get off of because you love him. What happened to you, dude? It's like, Joe. Hey, I don't blame you for loving Burrow. He's good, dude. I think he's the best pocket passer in the league.
Other than everybody else swinging from Mahomes' nuts.
Yeah, well, listen. There's plenty of room because Mahomes has been pretty well. There may not be any room anymore because everybody's swinging from. But, dude, if there's a person who is the condom for Joe Burrow, it's you. I mean, you are, dude. I mean, you've taken a guy bareback and you said, Joe's my guy. And I don't blame you because I think Burrow is off the hook player. But, dude, hey, by the way, when's his fan club start? Did you ever see that movie with Tom Cruise? With
his nuts taste?
Dude, I wouldn't know. And you know what? Probably pretty damn good with 2 Super Bowl rings. But let me ask you this, because did you ever see that movie with Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Cruise with the bald head, and they were out with Jack Black? What was that movie that was a spoof? Hilarious. Robert Downey Jr. was an African American. He played in the movie.
Oh, Tropical Thunder.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder.
Yeah,
great movie. Downey was. I mean, the cast was awesome, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Ben Stiller and the whole thing, dude. You are. You know who you are? Didn't he call the guy? Isn't the guy Tug Nut or Nut Tugger?
Yeah, Tugger, the Tugger.
Yeah, right. Yes, I'll get you a shirt that says JB's Nut Tugger because what a shock. Same initials too. What a shock.
Hey,
dude, he might as well kick you down like $2 million signing bonus. You got JB, the best quarterback of all time, and to do that now. I love him, but you're swinging, dude. There ain't no room on there. You ball hogged it. You ball hogged Joe Burrows, man. You got no room for him.
Hey, he's the only fucking quarterback that can throw the goddamn ball on time.
Get the fuck out of here.
Shit. Hey, all these other guys are shitty.
Did you say the only one that could get the fuck out of here? Look, you got me
cussing
again. You're the only guy who makes me cuss, dude. You. Well, that's not true. That's a lie.
To break down these fucking overrated fucking QBs.
So according to you, the league's got like 2 guys, right? Really one.
Right. Goddamn, maybe 2. After Josh Allen's fucking debacle, I think it might be less than that. Shit.
So you're already ready to bury him now.
I mean, not bury him, but goddamn, can he win a meaningful fucking game?
When I mean bury him, I mean like we just like he's not my guy. Really, dude, you're a one-horse wonder.
How about Herbert? Can Herbert win a game yet?
I don't know. Tell me if you get off JB's nuts long enough, pop on over and tell me how Herbert's doing. You tell me.
So wait up. Are we supposed to just like a bunch of fucking mediocre fucks?
There's nothing mediocre about Mahomes, and you know it. So quit just stirring the pot.
I'm talking about these other guys.
Okay, who? Josh Allen's not mediocre. Lamar's not mediocre. They may not look like Rodgers or Namath or Marino slinging the pill.
He's a freak, but what has he done?
Who?
Allen.
Well, he's made a franchise. Everybody's not Mahomes or Burrow, dude. You could win in this league without being – look at your favorite passer of all time and probably mine, Dan, Marino, and or – I mean, when you talk about just pure thrower of the football, Dan's at the top of the list.
Aikman, yeah.
Aikman, right. But you, dude, you know what? You know that song by When I Die – what's that? The band Perry? It's a country band, and they sing When I Die – bury me in satin, lay me on a bed of roses. Dude, when you die, all you want, when I die young, bury me in satin, or bury me in, or wrap me in Joe Burrow's jersey and put me on a bed of Bengals. I mean, come on, dude. I love Burrow. He is the top 2, 3 in the league. Best pocket passer we got in the league. But you got to make room for more than one on your platform, dude. You have to.
Yeah, I know.
You're the guy who's going to come back and tell me Elway sucked as a high school quarterback, right? Right. That's what you're going to tell me next when he came out of Granada Hills.
I like Sean Salisbury coming out of high school.
Well, now you're talking. Okay, boy, that bitch could throw it, couldn't he? Really could now. They don't know.
Too funny.
Yep. Dude,
I thought he was a hooper, didn't he?
Thought. Come on, dude. I'm getting 30 on you back in high school.
I would have fucking clotheslined you like Rick Mahorn.
Again, I was bigger than you then.
I would have fucking clotheslined you.
Dude, you would have.
I had a six-pack, no titties.
Dude, I would have. You know what I'd have done? I'd come right down the lane while I dunked it. It would have been captain. It would have been a Texas teabag while I was at it. You ain't stopping me, dude.
You wouldn't have dunked on me.
Your ass. You wouldn't have been the first. You wouldn't have been the first. You're the coach's son who came off the bench and tried to chest up to me when you're down 30. Don't do that. Don't do that. Did you have any hops?
White boy could jump.
Oh my gosh! You don't want to roll up in Orange Glen High School. Come on, dude. I'm hitting you minimum 35, just on a good measure, maybe in 3/4. Maybe I'm pulling you out, taking you a spin move, kiss it off the plexi with the left hand. Probably take one and go and drop step you on the baseline and cup dunk on your ass, and then yell it out, bro, after I dunk on you. Look at you. You're sitting there methodically thinking, how am I going to, what can I say? What cuss word can I use on this dude right now? But you know you're my dog, though, even though you hate 97% of the players and the quarterbacks in the league.
Hey,
go ahead.
I'm just telling you, the truth hurts a lot of people out there, I'll tell you.
I just like to tee you up and get you going because you and I are 90% of the time on the same page, but I love it because it's like, here's what I know after today and the last few shows. Give me 8 tight ends and 1 quarterback. All the best tight ends in Burrow, and you're good to go, dude.
And a good old line.
Yep.
Hey,
yes, sir.
Who you taking first? Sean Salisbury. We're over time. We're gonna get out of here.
Bryce Young. Done.
I got some money. Riding on this fucking Golden State Warrior game tonight. How about the Lakers beating the shit out of the fucking prankster ass John Morant led fucking?
Dude, Reeves was lights out, and Hachimura was on fire down the stretch as well. Yep.
He won me some money on the draft.
If John Morant's not healthy throughout that series is over. Lakers win it. And I'll tell you what, Golden State Sacktown, be careful now. Sacramento ain't playing, even though I think Golden State can still win the whole thing. And the Nuggets look like they were back too as they put it on Minnesota. Minnesota's got no shot against the Nuggets in this one.
Yeah, I got the Warriors tonight winning.
Who would I pick first? Bryce Young. If I'm Carolina, put the pick in now. Just write it on a card and mail it to Roger Goodell now, so he has it before the draft starts. Easy pick for me.
Yeah, no question. I agree.
You got him in the Kenny Two Gloves category? Where you got him? You're taking him first too, and you and I both know it. Okay, we're on the clock. You and I are the executives in Carolina. You're Frank Reich, and I'm your general manager. Who you taking?
I'm going to take Bryce Young because I know who coached him.
Right, that's fair. And you know a lot about quarterbacks. That's why I'm riding your ass just for fun.
And my good friend Sark coached him. I know some things. I've been around him since he was a young kid out here in Southern California.
Look what Sark did with Mac Jones, dude, to get him in position to be a first-round pick the way he coached his ass up, right?
Yeah, and then O'Brien had him again right after Sark.
Yep.
You got another NFL guy with him. I think if anyone's ready, I love Day and everything they do in Ohio State, but the track record just isn't there. Even though Alabama quarterbacks haven't been super, super stellar by any means, I think Bryce Young is the closest thing that we'll see in this generation of quarterbacks to Drew Brees.
You know who's the best, I guess maybe since Kenny Stabler? You know who the best Alabama quarterback is right since Stabler? At the NFL level?
Mac Jones? Fuck, I don't know.
The guy who just signed in Philadelphia.
Yeah, Hurts. I count him as an Alabama, even though he finished at Oklahoma.
Right. He spent more time there. And, with Tua, who I think's fine. But think about this, Jalen look at that. He got his bag and deserved it. So it's going to be interesting, dude. I love we love talking shit about this. I know you love more than one quarterback, and I know you know exactly what you're talking about. I just have to give you a hard time because Burrow's your man. Burrow is your guy. But I could use a good tight end and make me better. There you go.
You better get a left tackle, fucking Bakhtiari.
Yep.
Hey, man, it's always a pleasure. I can't wait to do this. We're right back here tomorrow, Sean, right here at the same time, all week long live, and then we'll be live next week, and then we're doing a draft party. We're going to watch the draft, and hopefully we can outpick them on Tuesday and Wednesday and make our mock draft. We're going to have a pretty little graphic up. We're going to have some guests on. You gonna be a bitch, or you going to smoke a cigar with me?
What'd you call me?
You gonna be a bitch?
Am I gonna be a bitch? I want to smoke a cigar and drink whiskey.
Fucking right, as you should. You better fucking take that goddamn G-strap off and put on your fucking boxer briefs. Let's go.
There ain't nothing wrong with a tee back. Well, don't hate. I wear it backwards.
Hey, do you wear one of those motherfuckers and eat carne asada tacos walking around?
I eat carne asada tacos. I wear boxer briefs, if you must know. Okay.
Me too. I do too.
There you go.
I do too. You know why? Because my nuts hang too goddamn low if I wear boxers.
Well, how far do Joe's hang? You'd know, wouldn't you?
Fucking kneecaps. Kneecaps.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
I call them clackers. I told you that. Those things you used to do that with, man, with those on the string at the end, right?
How's a cream of some young guy from Mahomes taste?
Listen, you could say everything you want. Mahomes is proven. If he retires today, he's in the Hall of Fame. Done. Retires today, he's in the Hall of Fame. Potential and results. What's he done, dude? You lose Tyreek Hill, you win a Super Bowl. Come on now, man. I know. I understand. He doesn't look the part. He doesn't look the pocket part on a regular basis. You like mechanically sound. There is no damn way you're telling me he can't play. It's not just – listen, Andy's one hell of a coach, and you know I think he's one of my favorite people on the planet. How many Super Bowls Andy Reid win with other pretty good quarterbacks?
I know.
And you get this guy, and guess what happens? You couldn't win at Texas. They didn't win anything at Texas Tech. You get this cat, you put maybe the best coach in the league right now, and along with Tomlin and you give me the best quarterback.
You wear that USC Trojan shit proud right now. What's your take on Cliff Kingsbury going there? We got to talk about that tomorrow.
I'll say, I don't want to get into that. We'll talk about it tomorrow. That's a good way to start.
Yep. And get into pick 17 through 20 tomorrow. And we're getting close, Sean. We're gonna knock it out Thursday. We'll get to another 4, and next week we're going to make our mock drafts, and it's going to be interesting I'm curious to get your take tomorrow. We'll save the Cliff Kingsbury. We're going to save the possibility that the Texans and the Cardinals, obviously Cardinals won't, but the Texans and the Colts, do they not take a quarterback? That's going to be up for debate tomorrow. Very interesting take. That's going to skew some things in our mock draft, if that's a possibility or not. So
for sure.
All love. I appreciate it. Everybody in here, go to our Patreon. We will be exclusive on Patreon. Become a member. Pound the like button. Share it on your Twitter. Sean will retweet it. Share his retweet. And we'll get this thing going.
And I'm at Sean Unfiltered on Twitter.
Sean Unfiltered. We're going to break it down. I'll tag them and share it. You guys do the same. And much love to everybody. And we'll see you guys same time, same place tomorrow. Last Chance Q with the great Sean Salisbury. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace. The Last Chance Q. Let's go. And I just cannot wait to bring over 60 years of knowledge and experience to not only the novice football fan, Sean, but to the veteran football coach as well.
You love it. You better live it, drink it, eat it, smoke it. And then every now and again, wake up with it laying next to you.
The premier football coaching show on the internet.
I've looked forward for the longest time to be with somebody whose energy and knowledge of football and teaching and no nonsense, but understands the old game, the in-between game, the new game, and combines them all.
Last Chance Q with the great, legendary Sean Salisbury.